I made my first million naira before I left the university, and while that might look like an impossible feat for some, others are already making plans for their next 10 million naira in the same universities. If I were to start all over again, these are the things I would do to make my first million naira with zero capital. The first thing I would make sure I do, and this is the mistake I see a lot of students make, start a business that you know can expand when you leave the four walls of your university. There are a lot of businesses you can do while you're still in school, and these businesses would feed you quite alright. You will make a whole lot of money. But the caveat, the mistake is you don't remember that when you leave the university, you can't expand this business. If you want to start a business, or if you want to start something that is making you money in the university, you sit down and make your plans. Is this something that once I leave the four walls of the university, I can expand it? The mistake I see a lot of young people make is they start a business model in school that they can't scale once they've left the four walls of the university. I see most people that do photocopying in school, they do printing, they do things that still require them actively staying in school. Now, in as much as you can balance that with your studies, and most times that's the goal that students aim for. If I can balance this thing I'm doing that is making me money with my studies, they are good. And then they are short-sighted. They didn't. What happens when I graduate? I've seen vast majority of students who always have the best stories about when they were in school. They were doing extremely well in school, either because they were supplying a kind of food to students, or they were supplying some kind of footwear, something that just required their active presence in the four walls of the university. And once they left the university, everything crashed. And I understand that there's this buzz and this excitement that comes with making money while you're still a student. So if you're selecting a business model you want to start with in school, if I were to go back, I wouldn't select a printing business. I wouldn't select a photocopying business. I wouldn't select something that require I stayed in school. I would take my time and select a business model that even though I leave that university, I can expand that business to other universities. So what are two ways of making money? Service and products. You're selling a product to students that only students can buy. You make a lot of money. But if it requires your active presence, it requires you setting up a shop, it's not going to work, because that's a limitation. The second thing I would do is collaborate instead of compete. I see most people, when they want to start a business, they spend so much time, first of all, planning for the launch of the business. And when they start looking for competitors, people that are already doing what they are doing. So they want to set up from scratch and start competing against these people. That is a very wrong thing to do. If you're starting, see it as your building block. I'll talk about that later. See it as your building block. You're not here to dominate yet. You're just here to make good enough money that you can use to invest in other business opportunities. So you come into the industry, you come into the school, you look around, there are lots of people you could offer your services for free. Probably someone that is taking exams, they don't have time to fill in their business. So this is what I advise young people to do. This is your learning phase. It's strictly your learning phase. There are definitely people that are already running businesses in school, probably your seniors or people that are about leaving the school, but most times they are not always active. Do you understand? These are the kind of businesses you should look for. Opt in, render your services for free or for a little pay. You're not there to make bank. If you see this kind of businesses, what you should do is, hey, I do this, I'm interested in such kind of business, I would like to set up my own later in future, but right now I could offer my services for free. Learn how to run this business. If it's a supplier business, you now understand this is where this guy gets his goods from, this is where he orders his goods from, this is where you promote, this is where you convert, this is where you deliver. You're not inside for the first time to start competing, and it's not that hard, because while you're in school, no matter how big your university is, bringing it to the general marketplace, there's always more customers. So if you're trying to compete with the little customers you have in the university, it's going to be saturated. You're going to burn out fast, especially as someone that is starting. As much as possible, try to collaborate. Look for people who are already doing what you're doing. Look for people who are already selling what you're selling. Look for people who are rendering the same services as you're rendering. Work with them. There are a lot of clients. Work with them. Most people might not be that free to give information for free. That's where negotiation comes in. There's always something you can do. Offer them something. You're here not to just suck from them. Try and offer as much as possible. They can let you in the door. So when you get into school, if you're starting up a business, forget competition. It's more about collaboration. So look for people you can collab with. The third thing I would do if I were to find myself in university again to make my first million naira is to be strictly aware of the department you're in. Yes, the department you're in plays a huge role, because when it comes, like I said about collaboration, when it comes to the university, majority of the time, business owners are always learners. The majority of business owners in the university, either this is something they've done for the past 1 year or it's always something they've started newly. I'll paint this scenario for you. If you look at your department and you don't see at least 10 people who are business inclined, do not settle. There are some departments that don't even have a single person who owns a car. That affected me because the department I found myself in, I was still, we are all students. So anybody that is still trying to talk about making money online, I see this person as, or you're rushing life. Do you understand? Coming into the real world, as we progressed in levels, I started seeing more students who were entrepreneurs, who were making bank. And it sounded so strange to me. Why? The environment I found myself in. When you see someone who's driving a car, the first thing that comes to your mind is he's doing something illegal. But the more you surround yourself with people who are interested in what you're interested in, you don't waste energy, you don't feel weird, you don't feel left out, you don't feel like you're the odd one out. So you're in the department, try to find at least 10 people who are business inclined, who want to move, who are thinking the way you're thinking. If you don't, be aware of that so that you don't settle for majority of the time you spend in school is with your department people. The more time you spend with them and they don't talk about things that are gearing towards your life, the more you start settling with their conversations. You start getting used to their conversations. I'm not telling you to change your department. Though that's on the table, you could be in your department, you're the only person that does business in your department. Look around for other people who are business inclined. Relate with people, network, move around, talk with people. Okay, be social. If you want to be a student that makes money, you can't do it except you're doing crypto or something that doesn't require human interaction. But if your business requires human interaction, you have to be very, very social. You have to talk to people. So if you're in a department that doesn't have as much rich people or as much people that are business inclined, you have to be aware of that. So you move on. You don't settle with making friends only in your department. The fourth thing I would advise you to do is, I hinted it earlier on, build your customer audience early. Now, this is exactly what I did. When I started out my business, I didn't find it hard to make my first 2 sales because I had a lot of people on my WhatsApp. And how did I get these people? It's very, very funny. But at that time, there was this cryptocurrency thing that was raining and you had to refer people. So I was all out. Anytime I come to class, at that time, at 100 level is where you have all departments attending the same classes, the same lectures. So as you progress, you guys start separating. This is the best time if you're in 100 level to get as many numbers as possible. Know as many people as possible. Because when you get into 200 level, 300 level, 400 level, in a whole month, it's only the face of your department people you're seeing, probably because of the location you guys are at. So if you think, in future I will get to know people, no. When you come to class, make sure you network with at least 3 people. What I did was every single day I come to class, I get 5 people's numbers. It was hard. I didn't start with 5, I started with 3. Every single day I just talk with a new person. I make sure I don't have a particular sitting spot. Most of you want to make money, and if you come to class, once they come inside class, once they look there, they know that you're in class. If you're not there, you're not coming to school. Exchange numbers with at least 3 people, if not for anything, just to view your status. Because in class, nobody is saying, am I going to get value from you? It's not like events that when you come, it's so formal. Before someone gives you their number, they rate you, they want to know how much value they'll get. If it's nothing serious, I'm not giving you my number. So this is the best time to build your customer base, be it a physical product or a digital product or whatever business you're building. Even though you don't have a business or a business idea yet, once you're 100 level, 200 level, every single day, make sure you get 3 people's contacts. Build your customer base, build your customer list early. The 5th one I'm going to tell you is something you might not hear often, but it's the truth. If you're going to be a student and an entrepreneur or a business owner in school, it's not going to be easy. I just want you to know that early. It's not going to be easy, and you would have to make very, very tough decisions. There's some nights you would deliberate and ask yourself again, why exactly am I doing this? Most of you might be motivated by just making your first million. Most of you might have different motivations, but as a student, you just need to understand that the decision you're making is not just for fun. You have to run your business and still be current with the scheme of work or the course outline. You have to attend classes. You have to choose between attending a paid event and an exam. I was put in that boat. A time came in my life where I had an exam the next day and I already paid for an event, paid like 50k, and it was a 2-day event. You know the way university schedule is, you could wake up one morning and they tell you, okay, the exam that they shifted last week is now tomorrow. That's exactly where I found myself. And I had to make that decision of if I should go for this exam or attend this event. I still had a way of balancing it. I took the exam and rushed back to the event. But just understand, you find yourself in difficult spots like this, even worse than mine. And it's building you. I just want you to understand that you're not suffering. You're going through the building process, and it's going to be very brutal. It's not going to be an easy experience to make money and also balance it with your academics. But at the end of the day, it's going to be worth it. These are 5 things that I would always advise someone who gained admission or who wants to start making money in school. Of course, this is just a part. You still have to own a product or promote a product for someone, or you're rendering a service. Generally, I just want you to understand that the basics of a business, if you want to run a business, is very, very simple. It's not one very big thing you have to plan for. All you need to do is you have a product or a skill, find a way to promote it, that show people what you do, find a way to convert, convince people to pay you for what you do, and then find a way to deliver. So if you can promote, convert, and deliver, that's if someone buys a product or orders something, how you can deliver it. If someone hires you, how you can deliver it, your services. These three things, if you're able to find a system on how to do it for your product, for your service, you have built a business. It's not going to be all rosy at the start. I always advise most young people, start learning, move in with that mindset of learning. Don't go and start competing with other people. Don't go to put under the pressure of trying to match up with someone who's already driving or doing well in your department or in the neighboring department. Focus on your own journey. Focus on your own path. Whatever it is you've selected to do, make sure you're doing it with wisdom. Basically, get as many people as possible to see what you're doing, and you have an abundance of that. There are lots of products, there are lots of things you can sell to students in school. You could sell digital products. There are other students who are so interested in making money online also. You could sell them a course teaching a digital skill. I would recap what I said. First thing is, don't build a business you can't scale when you leave the university. Second thing is, collaborate with other business owners. This is not the time to compete. Third thing is, be wise about your environment. If you find yourself in a place that is not business inclined, that is not aligning with what you want, make sure you are aware of it so that you don't succumb to the pressures of that environment. Fourth thing is, build your customer audience early. You have an abundance of students, people who don't know you and are ready. They have problems. This is the widest marketplace. You have them physically, you can study them online. Build your customer base early. And then the fifth thing is, you need to understand it's not going to be easy. That will save you the mental stress, because when things stop going as you planned it to go, you're not so surprised. Your landing page might break down when you're reading for an exam for the next day. Something could just come up. You need to deliver something on the day you have an exam. Expect it. And when it does come, accept it and work around it. It's a fact. It's not a problem. If you got value from this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And as usual, our mantra, share this video with just 3 of your friends. No more, no less. So if you're a young business owner, an affiliate marketer, a course creator, a content creator, a coach, a service provider, and you've been making it consistent sales, you've tried all your best, you run steady and you make no sale at all, or you make 2 to 3 sales, which are not even up to break of the amount of money you spent on. You fill up a WhatsApp group, and when you're done pouring speeds, no sale. It's probably because you're missing something. You're sending to the wrong audience with the wrong creative. Now I spent 60 minutes with people like showing them the step-by-step process on how they can 5x their sales in 30 days using just 7 strategies. Now the feedback from that session has been so amazing. Now if you want to get the replay to this session, I will put a link in the description. Click it and I'll grant you access to the replay. And as always, where you are right now is not your final destination. I shall meet you at Lock In and Represent.